need to use the restrooms, go down this path, turn right and left, and there's a restroom building down there. Well, we do have a virtual reality fire on the screen here. Please keep in mind as you wander back to your campsites tonight that we are in a total fire ban. So if you want to play something like this on your phone, that is the way to go. No real fires. But anyways, our special guest, this is our 1800s fur trapper, William Garretson. And he's got some stories to tell you, so I'm going to give the show to him. You guys want to give him a hand?
Hello, y'all. How y'all doing tonight? Good. Well, I am William Garretson. I am a pioneer and a fur trader by trade. I was born in 1831 in Davidson River, North Carolina. Now, my pa, he was a frontiersman, a mountain man. And my mother, she was a school teacher, and well, she provided me the kind of schooling I needed. And of course, most people got schooling maybe up to 8th grade at the time. Later on, we decided to move out west. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and what I do. My father's a mountain man. Particularly, I'm not always a mountain man. What is a mountain man? Does anybody know what a mountain man is? Well, let me tell you. A mountain man is somebody who goes out into the wilderness and decides to live off the land, 100%. Basically doing everything they need, from food to water and shelter, all things they need to survive. A pioneer. Does anybody know what a pioneer is? What's a pioneer? Right, the first person to live in an area. So think about if you wanted to go into a new area no one's ever been, and you're going to discover where you need to go, maybe draw out some maps, you might be a pioneer. What is a fur trader? Does anybody know what a fur trader is?
They trade fur.
Well, how do they get the fur? Right? Fur trader, somebody goes out and sets traps, and they set traps most likely around rivers and areas like that because they want to get things like beavers and muskrats and other kinds of things, and rabbits. And they'll basically skin those animals, and then they'll go in and trade them. Now, a lot of people back then weren't really independently wealthy on fur trading. They would work for a fur trade company like the Hudson Bay, and the Hudson Bay in particular was in this area, and they would quite often make special deals with a place like the Dalles, where it was a big hub where you would trade. Now, they set the prices. I could only make so much money off of trading, and I would trade that to the company, and then they would trade on from there. So I've got a couple things on. I did come from my camp down on the Chutes River. You guys camping here as well?
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. What kind of animals do you think they use to make a felt hat? Anybody want to guess?
Beaver.
Beaver! Very good. Beaver's one of them. What's another animal? Rabbits. And so rabbits and beavers are primarily used to make felt hats. Now what they would do is you got that outer layer of fur. They would want that inner layer of fur. And they take that inner layer of fur and they would mix it. They apply a little mercury to it, and that started in about the mid-1700s. And they would apply a mercury acid to it, which would break down and help it adhesive to it. Now, have you ever heard of the term Mad Hatter? Has anybody ever heard of the Mad Hatter? Remember what story that comes from? Anybody?
Alice in Wonderland.
Right, Alice in Wonderland. Now, that actual name comes from a person who would be making these hats. I also have a pullover shirt that's pretty common, and some canvas pants. Now, everybody got some canvas pants on like me? Keep warm at night? Maybe not canvas. So let's see what I brought also in my bag. I think you'll like a few things that might be in here. Let's take a look here. Alright, well, the first thing here, we got my horn cup. That's a pretty common thing back then, right? Take a horn from the sheep, and you just put a little wood on the bottom, seal that in, and that would be the cup I use to drink a little water. So I'll leave that out here. I might need a little glass of water. Another thing in here is my medicine bag, right? You guys all have medicine bags at home, or do you guys carry them with you, medicine bags, in case you need something, right? You got a little headache? No? You carry a medicine bag with you? So typically, when I have a lot of medicine like you have, no. So I might have things of roots and plants and leaves and things in there that kind of been benefits to us as we drink them or eat them and things like that. So I have my medicine bag just in case I need it. I also got a little rock here. Does anybody know what kind of rock that is? Real shiny, kind of like glass. What do you think? obsidian, right? So I went a little far east of here and collected some obsidian, and I always keep a little bit around me. I never know when I need to trade it for some food or some other items. And well, if you're really good at it, you can break down this obsidian, make yourself a little arrowhead as well. So you do that by taking a piece of obsidian. Well, you have to get kind of good at it, and it's called napping. And so you kind of hit it just right, and it breaks off and makes yourself a little arrowhead. So you could even sell these or trade these off or use them to hunt as well. But I usually don't. Did I actually make this? I'm going to lie to you and say yeah. How's that? A couple other items I got in here. Well, if you're going to start a fire, of course I know we're not allowed to start a fire, so I won't start one right now, okay? But does anybody know what you use typically to make a fire? Anybody? Flint and steel, right? So I got myself a nice piece of flint here. I would definitely have some cloth, some charcoal cloth that would take and hold that spark that comes along. I take that charcoal cloth and I put it down in my pre-made fire, and poof, that thing would just go up and I could make some dinner for us. Right, well, you certainly would only use different types of wood, or certain types of wood, right? So I have a little demonstration right here of that. So if I had this all set up, my little cloth right here. And then we'd catch that spark, and that would be our fire for the night. But we got a nice ranger starting our fire tonight. Isn't that nice? We have a little fire right here. All right, I got a couple little more items as well. We're going to be talking about Grizzly Stories here in a couple of minutes. And here's a grizzly claw, very big claw. You can come up and look at that here at the end as well. That's about 2 to 4 inches long. A black bear would be only about 1 to 2 inches long. Here's a toy I brought with me. This would be a toy that maybe I've had certain places in the 1800s, right? Some people were felling trees. Well, some kids might want to kind of mimic their father who are out there doing it. So this is kind of a toy they might have. It's a little buzzsaw toy right here. And I would do this just for hours, wouldn't you? Right. And another toy I got for you. Now this one here, this was a really smart piece of wood right here. I trained it well. Now, have you ever heard of a Jihad Wimmy-Diddle? What? Never heard of a Jihad Wimmy-Diddle. Well, this is one fine piece of trained wood I got right here. A little piece of rhododendron I found. And so basically what it is, I trained it to actually spin on command. And if you guys want to help me, G is left and haul is right. All right? You guys say G? G. So it goes G, it's going left right there. Now when you say haul, it'll go right. Haul. Now say haul. Haul. You gotta say G. G. Haul. Oh yeah, slow it down. So that's it. That's how you do it. Little train, you gotta train it right, just like your horses, your work horses. You train them well, and they do work for you, right? European settlers or fur traders came in about 1813. And you ask me, how do I know that? Well, you head up on the Deschutes River down there. Well, not right here, but downstream a little ways, and you can see on a rock that somebody actually carved in 1813 in that rock. What lived back here? What was a big animal that lived back here during that period of time? Bears. What kind of bears? Anybody know? Grizzly bears, that's right. What other bears do we have living around here? Black bears. 1800s and 1900s, they actually thought there was 86 different species of bears at that time. I don't know why. Maybe because they're cinnamon colored and bluish colored and black and light colored and silver tipped. They probably thought they all were different animals, right? Or different types of bears. Grizzly actually comes from Lewis and Clark in 1805, 1806 when they came through the area. Now the word grizzly, we spell them two different ways. One means silver tip. The other, without the E, means ferocious. So that's where the term grizzly came from, right here in Oregon. Now, we can think about a couple other stories. Have anybody ever heard of Reelfoot? This is a legendary story called Reelfoot. Anybody ever heard of them? Anybody from California? Right? Anybody from Oregon? And this is a story you should be able to retell. So there was this big, enormous bear called Reelfoot, and he lived in southwestern Oregon, and even into California. About a 300-mile radius that this bear would go around. Now this bear, his name was Reelfoot, and he was a special bear, and he was a very smart bear, and he got his name for a special reason. Well, a lot of the trappers would go out and try to trap him, and he was so smart he could escape the traps. And when he escaped the traps, his feet got all kind of mangled up a little bit. So they always knew when it was Reelfoot doing the damage. And when I say damage, I mean this bear was so good at killing cattle and also horses. When I spoke about Fremont earlier, he came back through in 1848. He came through that southern Oregon area. He was watching his horses. All of a sudden he sees Reelfoot come out. Reelfoot starts charging forward. He goes forward and kills a bunch of the horses. So he wrote about it. That was the first time we heard about Reelfoot. Now you can imagine, Reelfoot, 1848. That this went on for 40 years. Reelfoot went around. People tried to kill him, wouldn't have it. People would also find where he had killed an animal. He made a routine of never coming back to that animal again. So he was never hunted down for quite a long time. Then there was this gentleman in the 1880s. He brought his cattle through an area, had them rested. Then he kind of spotted Reelfoot from the distance, slowly creeping up and then slowly speeding up, charging and killing a calf, right? Then he turned and killed the mother cow as well. Now you can imagine this gentleman sitting up on a tree. He literally went up 50 feet in the tree. Watched this happen in front of him. And then the bull decided to charge him. So he's seeing that bull coming towards him. I'm not going to have this, right? So the bull charges and knocks Reelfoot down on the ground. Reelfoot stands up, and he won't have this now. And then Reelfoot charges back over to him, spikes him, knocks him down, and with one bite, crushes his bones and kills the bull. Later on, in 1890s, the gentleman decided he'd had enough. All the cattle ranchers in the area put a bounty on this Reelfoot's head, $2,700. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but today's standards, that's $63,500 without been today. How many people are they out hunting that Reelfoot today? So, these gentlemen took off early in the year, I think it was maybe March, April, started hunting him down, couldn't find him. Went back out a couple months later, and they killed Reelfoot. Now, was that the end of Reelfoot's story? No, sorry. So the news got it. The national news all over the country knew about Reelfoot at this time. So imagine a little fort. Anybody like to fish? Right? Doesn't our stories get bigger and bigger as we keep telling them, right? So newspaper said that bear weighed 1,400 pounds. And another one said, nah, it weighed 1,800 pounds. And another newspaper said, nah, he weighed 3,200 pounds. So this bear just kept getting bigger and bigger, and he traveled all over the place as well. Did you guys like that story? Yeah. Excellent. All right, got one more for you. Now, you ever heard of the lava bear? Anybody ever heard of lava bears? No? Well, let me tell you. It was about 1917 to 1934. You believe this or not? You head south. You head down to the Newberry, and even further down, you might catch yourself seeing a lava bear. It was also called the dwarf grizzly as well. So what did you find? Well, when you came up into the scene, you would see full-grown bears. They would only be about 2 feet long, 2 feet high, and they looked like cubs, but yet they were full-grown bears. So that story took a hold and became famous as well. And so people tried to capture them and trap them as well. And then one day, somebody actually captured a live lava bear. And the Smithsonian offered them $2,000. Again, somewhere around $50,000, $60,000 in today. What did that person do? Do you think they turned it into the Smithsonian? Nah, of course not. They traveled all over the place, charging to see it. They went into Portland, and literally got 8,000 people to pay to see the live lava bear. Now, do you think that dwarf grizzly is a real dwarf grizzly or a lava bear? Well, the story says so. But nope, you're right. They sent one into Washington, D.C., and they figured out it was actually just black bears. They were malnutrition. All right, well, I appreciate you guys coming to the program tonight and learn a little bit about grizzly bears. You guys have any questions or stories yourself right now? Anybody? Well, I appreciate you coming here, and you can sometime tonight come visit me in my camp, or I'll come visit you at your camp. Thank you so much, guys.